Hey there, and welcome to day 23 of my 31-day video challenge. It's been a bit of a theme in a couple conversations over the last few months, and it's around sexism. Now, we all know the usual kind, right? Where, someone makes a comment about a body type part or a piece of clothing or whatever. That's pretty overt. It can be hostile, can be pretty aggressive. But there's this other kind. It's called benevolent sexism. So it's comes from a place of caring, will seem like it will come from a place of caring and that they're just trying to help or protect you. But in reality, what it's doing is reinforcing traditional gender roles and assumptions, which is ultimately going to limit a woman's opportunities. So again, I'm talking specifically for women. So here's an example. Oh, 10 years ago, I was part of a succession planning team at an organization, and a team lead position had come up, and there's a whole group of us around a table, and we're looking at, well, who's ready, who could move into this role. And one of the names came up was a female engineer who had been working for about 10 years. And yeah, everybody's like, yeah, she's ready. We should, see if she's wants to take on a role like this. And I still distinctly remember this moment. One of the male managers raised his hand and said, "Oh, wait a second. Didn't she just get married a few months ago?" And everybody went, "Oh, right." Now, no one overtly said it, but I knew exactly what they were thinking. Their assumption was that because she just got married, she is likely going to start trying to have a baby and will be going away on maternity leave sooner than that's their assumption. They just think she's going to get pregnant and go away on leave. And I remember, kind of losing my mind in a super reserved way. Like, you can't make career choices for someone based on this overtly gross assumption because you don't know if she wants to have kids, you don't know if she can have kids, and if she does want to have kids, how long will it take her to get pregnant and then carry to term, and then you don't know if she's going to want to take a leave or maybe she'll share it with her spouse. Like, there's just so many things and so many other decisions that are going to go into a life-changing moment of like deciding to want to be a parent that I lost my mind. So that is an example of benevolent sexism. They're like, oh, let's not burden her in case she becomes a mom. So that's a pretty big example that I know I lived through. There's been some smaller ones too. I was coaching a leader, oh, this was a few months ago, and it came up, benevolent sexism, and he mentioned that he had someone working for him who had been, really working lots of extra hours and putting in the extra effort, and he recognized it, and he encouraged her on a Friday afternoon, don't log in this weekend, take some time away from work, go spend it with your family, go to the park with your kids, all this kind of stuff. And uh I said, well, that would be a classic example of benevolent sexism. I said, the intention is amazing. You want to encourage her to take a step away and take a break, but those kind of suggestions are based on the assumption that as a mom, those are things that would help recharge her and refill her, and they might not be. So just a couple examples that I don't know which are. There's even been some studies actually done. I looked it up, where there was one done where benevolent sexism reinforces that idea that women should be protected or taken care of. Well, then, if that's the base assumption behind it, well, then you're restricting women from certain roles. Like if a woman's in a non-traditional role, like they're in the trades or if they're in construction, oh, we can't let her climb that scary ladder. Like, I'm making that one up, but like just it can be bad. It can really backfire. So the next time you maybe experience this, now you can have a little bit of a radar on it and you can just hopefully call it out in a manner that works best for you. And if you find yourself, if you're a male leader and try to put yourself in a little bit of check, like if you have this impulse to, oh, I can't promote her, oh, we can't invite her to the leadership offsite, she's got little kids at home, right? Put that in check. Would I say this to one of my male um, colleagues? Would I have this assumption if this was a man who had the same family obligations and little kids, or kids who are in lots of sports or whatever. Would I do that? Or why am I saying this? Where is it coming from? If it's a based assumption that is coming from gender, don't do it. But if you're curious, I mean, you can ask, hey, we have this opportunity. Would you be interested? It is their choice. Can't be your choice to make on someone else's behalf. Anyway, so a little bit of a rant. Well, I guess it wasn't really a rant. Just hopefully a little education to shed some light on some of the nuances that sexism can show up in the workplace and how it can even cloud your judgment as a leader, and to try to, go gently into your assumptions and your biases. Okay, with that, I shall leave it. And until tomorrow, which will be day 24, stay shiny.